Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Back to working on the metal planer again today, guys, and I think this is going to be a landmark day for us. I think we've got a bunch of our issues worked out. When we left off last time, we had the table working, going back and forth. The problem was that when we came forward, the stop was running up onto my dog here. The dog was running up onto the lever, I guess, and it was kind of picking the table up. And I spent some time working off camera, working through some things, and really, I pretty much had a really strong idea what the problem was, even before I stopped that last video. I didn't say anything at that time because I just wanted to play with some things. But the main problem was that, as we've talked about before, when this table is cutting, it's going in on the stroke. It's moving at about 20 feet per minute. That's about the speed. And that's according to the books and references I have. That's a good average speed for a metal planer to run. I mean, if you can only have a one-speed planer, that's kind of where the sweet spot where they like to see things running. And on the return stroke, you are actually moving at a faster pace. And the way that my pulleys and stuff were set up on this thing, we were moving about 60 feet per minute, which is about 3 times as fast as the stroke going in the other direction. The problem was that return speed was a little bit too fast, and by the time the belt shifted in the direction the table moved, because it was moving so fast, it was just running it up onto the stop. So what was the solution? We had to slow down the return feed. And to do that, what I ended up doing was I ended up changing this flat belt pulley up here out. And I did some math, did some calculations. I really wanted that return stroke to be about 40 feet per minute rather than 60, slowing it down by about a third. And guys, that made all the difference. So, you know, when I got this machine, it came with the counter shaft. It had those 2 large pulleys on it. I'm not exactly sure that those were even the original pulleys that came with this machine, or that ran with this machine, but that's what came with it. I don't know the whole story. I don't know why those pulleys were on there, but I do know the solution, and the solution was simple. We just made that pulley on this side a little bit smaller and slowed things down considerably, and again, that seems to be working. Fortunately, I was able to find a pulley up there that was the right size, and everything worked out good. So there you go. We're going to fire this thing up here in a minute and let you guys see it run, but it's working much, much better now. In fact, let's just do it. I've got my lever more or less straight up, which is kind of a neutral position. Neither of the belts are quite on the drive. I can kind of get that position right there to stop everything. I'm just going to manually move it forward. This is the cut stroke. The return stroke is faster, but now it's not running up on that stop. And I've let this thing cycle quite a few times, and it's working really well. Now I know some people are going to ask about the noise. That's just all the open gears inside the planer running. And they're just noisy like this on this type of joiner, or a planer rather. Let's kind of get some shots showing the action going on here. So starting out here, here's our lever and dogs. And everything's working real good there now. It has not misfired a single time since we slowed things down. So I got a little bit shot showing here. You can see the belt pulley shifting, or the belt shifting on the pulleys there. You can also see the feed works working. That's that little lever in between there that's going up and down. You can crank that crank on the front and adjust the stroke on how far it moves every time. And it's quite an interesting mechanism. Let me show you on the back side over here. All right, so watch this arm here. It's going to rack up and down, and it's connected to a rack. The rack is then connected to a gear that comes over to a little ratchet pawl, that goes to a feed works, and this is moving the head left and right. And you can adjust the stroke again by changing this handle down here. Kind of neat. And this gear here is running this screw. It'll turn. And as that turns, it's moving this head either left or right in there the way we got it right now. I can change this gear around, put it on the top. It's in tension right now. When I do that, it moves the head up and down. Now I've got it moving the head. You can see the handle up here turning on each stroke. It's actually moving up right now. To reverse it, I just moved my paw around on that. I should be going down now. There we go. So hopefully you can see we got the machine. Generally speaking, it's working right now. And it's very, very close to making that first cut. I do have one little thing I need to do before we do that. Actually, I probably can make a cut right now, but there's one thing I haven't done yet that I need to take care of. And I think we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. But this whole crosshead moves up and down by cranking the crank up or the gears up on the top here. It was set up originally with a pulley that goes over here to this these bevel gears. We had to make one of those bevel gears. They're not even tight right now. You see I'm just turning that. It's turning the shaft. It's not turning anything. But they had that hooked up on a flat belt pulley where you could use the power to lift it up. I'm not exactly 100% sure how all that's supposed to work though, because you don't want it going the whole time that the machine's going, and I really can't see how you can engage and disengage that. It's here, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little adapter up here that just has a little square shank that I can use a crank and crank it up. So if you look, I've got right here, I can move my head left and right. I can move my head up and down. Let me put that in neutral. There we go. Head can go up and down. And what I want to do is make a little adapter here where I can just crank this up and down. Now, normally you're not moving this crosshead while the machine's in operation. It's one of those things that you set it for the job you're doing. And you can move it up higher and lower to give clearance for your work up underneath it. But once you kind of get it roughly where you want, you can move your cutter up and down by using the hand wheel here. And if you're doing a flat surface, it's just going to go left and right. So again, I'm going to make an adapter where I can just do that by hand. The other thing I need to do that I have not done yet is we need to get this crosshead set where it's level and running parallel to the table in the machine. I put it on here, but again, my pulleys or my gears are not tight right now because I may need to fine tune things. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to get, I think I've got a long parallel that I can put across here, and we're going to put a dial indicator, and we're just going to sweep this head left and right, and if we need to, we can adjust the height on either side slightly one way or the other to get it running true. Then I can tighten these bevel gears down where it should lift and lower the head and keep it parallel to the table. So let's do that. So here's my setup. Again, I've got a parallel. This is a 24-inch parallel that's been ground in where the two sides are parallel. I'm just doing that rather than going off the table itself because we do have the T-slots in here, and I don't want to have to mess with my indicator as I go across those. So this way we got a nice solid surface, and we're just going to roll it all the way to the other side and sweep that entire 24 inches. So let me step in front of the camera here, and it's set on 0 right now. This indicator reads in thousandths of an inch, and you can see it's already dropping, and it's dropping pretty fast. So we are going to be a good bit out of tram here. I kind of figured we were, but easy adjustment. So we rolled all the way to the other end, and we're just a little over 40 thousandths out. So let's see, I need to raise this side up 40 thousandths of an inch. All right, so I need to raise this thing up 40 thousandths. I don't know if I can turn this by hand. I might have to come up with a way to turn that. Tell you what I can do. I think I can just tighten this set screw up, leave the other one loose, and turn the shaft, and hopefully that'll do it. Let's try that. I'm just going to tighten that one up nice and tight. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. All right, so we've got it set right on 0. Hopefully you can see that. So hopefully you can see we got the indicator set on 0. So now what I can do is tighten up my other bevel gear up top, and these should raise and lower at the same rate and keep everything parallel to the table. But before I lock everything down, I want to run this all the way back across, make sure that that indicator stays on 0, and it's looking pretty good so far. All right, we are about 7 thousandths out still, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-zero my indicator. We'll go back to the other side, and we'll do this one more time. It's just going to take a little trial and error until we get everything adjusted like it should be, but we're getting real close here. And that's reading exactly like it was before. Let's I'm going to bring it back across now. That is reading so good that I almost don't believe it. I might have to just make sure, yeah, we're still in range. Yeah, that was perfect. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and tighten up that other set screw. I think we got that worked out. Well, we just sit here and get some video of this thing running. I think it's kind of a neat shot here, watching those belts shift. Well, guys, we are to a point now where I think we're ready to make our first cuts with this machine. However, it's not going to be today, and it's not going to be in this video. I'm just running out of time this weekend. I'm headed up to the Chicago area to go to Orange Fest. In fact, when you guys see this video, I will be in Chicago at Orange Fest. And I've got some stuff I got to get packed up and ready to go. I am literally just running behind time. So we're going to call this video quits today. But when I get back from Orange Fest, we're going to find something to clamp down to this table, and we're going to make our first cuts. And I am super, super excited about it. I do need to make my little adapter to go up here. I've got a coupler, a keyed coupler that I can put on this and just have a little short stub that comes out this end that I'll mill a square on it that a handle will just fit up on there. This handle will just fit up on there. I can use the same handle to do all my adjustments with. So I need to do that when I get back home. That'll be a fairly quick and easy project. Just don't have time today to do it. So yeah, super stoked. The planer is working. At least it appears to be, unless we run into a problem when we start actually making cuts with it. I don't anticipate anything. I think we're in good shape to take this thing for a test spin. Coming very soon. Hang in there, guys. I know you guys want to see this chip as bad as I do, but we're just going to have to wait just a little bit longer, but we're almost there. Thanks, guys, for riding along on this journey, on this planer restoration. Yeah, we're really, really close. And I do still have several other little small things that need to be done to this before I really call it finished. But we're to the point again where we can at least try it out and make sure everything's going to work like it needs to. And yeah, we'll do that when we get back from Orange Fest. Hope to see some of you guys up at Orange Fest here this coming weekend. Again, when you guys see this, Orange Fest will be going on, but I hope to run into a couple of you guys up there. Really looking forward to getting out of the house. It's been a while with all this COVID stuff to be able to go on a trip and do some things and go to an event. So I'm super excited about that. And guys, with that, that's going to be a wrap on this episode. As always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Hit that bell icon again if you haven't already, so hopefully you'll get notifications when new videos are posted, because our friends at YouTube are not always the greatest about letting you guys know when I post videos. So that's one way you can make sure that happens. And with that, we'll catch you on the next video. Again, thanks for watching.